there was another poll by the Athletic talking to front office executives, and of course the conversation was about who will be the NFL MVP, and surprise, surprise.
Well, Rob, you're going to be more surprised because the poll wasn't even about the MVP. The poll
I thought it
was about the power rankings in the AFC and the NFC. We talked about it yesterday. Detroit Lions, one guy had him 11th. So for the AFC...
One guy, you mean Rob. Go ahead.
Rob Parker had the Lions 11th. In the AFC, no surprise, Baltimore Ravens number 1. No surprise again, Buffalo Bills number 2 because they play in a terrible division and they should kind of run roughshod through that division. The Chiefs being at number 3 was a mild surprise. However, one of the voters who had the Chiefs at number 1, an anonymous NFL executive, said the real reason why he has them number 1 has everything to do with their quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. In fact, that exec believes that Patrick Mahomes, in his words, quote, get ready, NFL MVP. I think he's at a point in his life where he's like, I'm the guy. Mahomes in a great spot. I think he's coming for all the haters, Rob Parker. We're going to see a huge year from him, 38 touchdown passes type of year.
All right, Kelvin, I just got one thing to say.
Okay.
It's preposterous.
That's a big word.
To think that Patrick Mahomes is going to change what we've seen the last couple of years and not play better, but be the MVP. With all the young quarterbacks and all these other guys who have put up really impressive. Joe Burrow any other year could have been the MVP last year, right?
Uh-huh.
Lamar should have won the MVP last year. And then, of course,
Josh Allen?
Josh Allen actually won the MVP, right? So there's just 3 guys right there without even digging, right? And they're all in the AFC as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like an incredible plethora of quarterbacks who have played really well and have a chance at, again, going for an MVP. Here's my issue, and I just, last year, and I talked about it, they were 15-2 last year. 15-1 in games that Patrick Mahomes played, because they didn't play the last game of the year and they lost. And he got 0 first-place votes for MVP. In a quarterback league where you talk about making the big throws when it matters, supposed to be about winning, nobody watched him last year and said, oh, yeah, look at what he's doing. They won their first 11, 13 games in a row. They're going to the Super Bowl again. Oh, my God, look at this. The body of work, the dinking and the dunking, the turnovers, the interceptions. Nobody's saying that he has to be flawless or throw 50 touchdowns and no picks or whatever. It's just a far cry. Once you've seen vintage Patrick Mahomes in the early days of his career, it's hard to watch this one and think he's the MVP of the league, no matter how much winning they do. So I don't see how that's going to be possible, given A, the competition, B, what he's done of late. You think he wants to dink and dunk? I mean, the last 2 years, do you really believe that? No. You think he wants to throw picks? No. This is just who he is at this point. And I just think that people, when it comes to players like Patrick Mahomes' ilk, they can't let it go. He's an all-time great. So they always give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what it's like? It's like LeBron last year. Oh, no, I'm looking in the West. Who are you going to take over LeBron and Luka? Who are you going to take over LeBron and Luka? Mm-hmm. Right? Because of LeBron, I get it. He's one of the all-time great players, right? And you just add Luka to him, so you think, of course. How many times have we heard I'm not betting against LeBron James? He's been playing in the league 22 years and got 4 championships, but you're not betting against LeBron.
Yeah.
Every year I hear this, and it's the same thing. We're picking the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes to win the MVP. I just think it's tired, it's preposterous, it's lazy, and it's not based on what your eye test is telling you.
So the MVP, my pick is to be Lamar Jackson. I think he's just, you gift him 35 touchdowns, maybe total, maybe it's just passing with a few on the ground as well. He's just that gifted. He's that good. Mark his team down for anywhere 11 to 13 wins. That's just Lamar Jackson. But align with the question or the thought of what we're talking about. I don't think it's preposterous at all, because I think everything you just named is going to work in his favor. And what I mean by that is, I think he's going to go into this season, and I think he understands that that was his floor, right? That last season will be as bad as it gets for Patrick Mahomes for the next 5-6 years. And so I think...
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not.
And I think a couple of reasons. One,
when Travis Kelce retires and
you finally get a young stud who's Travis Kelce of 6 years ago. Here's one of the things. Let me break down the reasons why. Number one, he addressed it. He said it. He believed they played tight in a lot of ways because their focus was on trying to three-peat. So throughout the season, they're trying to make plays, and guys are doing this, and three-peat is in the back of their head, which is why I think they're 15-1 when he starts. Because they're like, can we mess around and go undefeated through the Super Bowl and be maybe the greatest team of all time? Subconsciously, that's in the back of their head. 100%. He admitted it. Other guys admitted it as well. The three-peat was sitting there. We got to talk about the injuries. Guy out. This guy's out. He's not playing. Wait, he is playing now. He's back. Okay, he's back towards the end of the season, but he's not really himself. That played a big role, and I think him just saying, I just got to win games. I just got to win games. I'm not going to be able to do what I normally do, right? And I think that floor for him is going to be a Roy Jones Jr. Y'all must have forgot of why he plays better. Now, again, I think Lamar Jackson will win the MVP. But it's not asinine or crazy to think that he expounds upon what he did. So what is it? 28 touchdowns. Instead, now it's 35, 38 touchdowns, right? 11 interceptions, I believe, somewhere around there. Maybe it's only 7, 8. And so I expect him to be better. Hollywood Brown is back. This is the second year for Worthy, who had a really nice rookie campaign. He's only going to get better. Then you lose 6 weeks of Rashee Rice, your best receiver. He'll be back. You still got 11 weeks of him catching a bunch of yards and a nice amount of touchdowns, and for him to be productive. And lastly, I think Andy Reid and crew said we also could have put them in better positions. We could have put them in better positions in the Super Bowl. And I think everybody, all staff involved, comes back and said, we as a whole unit need to improve. And so I expect that from them. So I don't think he is winning, but I also don't think it's crazy, because I think if he gets back to 75 to 85% of what he normally was, he's in the hunt, he's in the race. He's Sam Darnold of last year.
See,
he's Jared Goff of where you're in the running. But this is my
issue, though. If last year, if you're all the stuff you talked about that he didn't have and guys didn't play well and they still won and he made all the big throws when it mattered, he should have got votes for MVP, because it's an unbelievable task to be 15-1 with nothing. You just said he had nothing last year and the receivers weren't good, and this guy and Travis Kelce's old and nobody was good and they didn't do anything right, and yet they won 15 out of 16 games. How do you not get any MVP votes then?
I can answer that.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because it was a historic year for, we talk about what Lamar Jackson did has not been done. It stands for what? An Aaron Rodgers year or something like that. Josh Allen is literally doing Superman things, jumping over people with the ball in the snow. You got Jared Goff having a huge season. Joe Burrow is the MVP any year except last year. And then you got Sam Darnold, a remarkable run out of the blue. We didn't even thought Sam Darnold was in the NFL anymore. So you had other guys that came out the blue, or who are always good, Lamar and Josh, who took it to another level. So that's why people are like, all right, you're off to the side right now, because we're seeing things that we've never seen. Sam Darnold, Jaden Daniels coming out.
Put him off to the side if he had nothing and to work with, and they won all those games. And
his stats were not great, except for the winning ones. But the overarching stats weren't great.
All right.
They weren't.
877-99 on Fox. 877-996-6369. Is it preposterous to say that Patrick Mahomes can win the MVP this season? We'll continue that conversation next with you.
That can't be preposterous.
It's preposterous. Mahomes is his real name.
You're cooking your toes on that one.
Always.
Let me tell you this real quick. Joe Theismann, Tom Brady, Jim Plunkett, Joe Montana, Steve Young all won MVPs over 30. So it's not as if it doesn't happen.
You didn't hear me bring up any age. I'm just
saying, meaning he can still get back and get to where he is.
I didn't bring up age. I just brought the play and the competition.
I want to get that out there.